Hello. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha Ellenderry. I'm a speech-language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. I am here to help you establish and maintain a consistent Speak Out Home practice routine. If you have not signed into the chat yet, I encourage you to do that. Just look at the box where it says type in your nickname and type in your first name and where you're from. Ideally, it would be great if you would log on to these sessions just a few minutes early so you can get into the chat and then you're ready to practice. Today's topic, inspired by Rick. Here we go, Girl Scouts. Everybody say Girl Scouts with intent. Ready? Girl Scouts. Every word with intent again. Girl Scouts. We did a session recently on Boy Scouts and we couldn't let the Girl Scouts. We definitely needed to recognize them too. I was a Girl Scout. For all the ladies out there, were you also a Girl Scout? Before we practice smiling with intent, we need some inspiration. Nancy from Fairview, Texas sent us this cute picture of her granddaughter smiling with intent. How beautiful is she? So now we are motivated to smile with intent. Give me your best smile. Very good. Take a sip of water and we will get started. Later in today's session, I will share a story with you about my daughter and selling Girl Scout cookies. Let's go ahead and start with the first Speak Out exercise. We're going to lift our voices and project them over my head. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. We're speaking out. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Get your voice in front of you. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Again. May, me, my, mo, moo. And we never want these exercises to become automatic, meaning we always want to force ourselves to be thinking about what we're doing. So this time, let's stretch out the vowels a little bit more. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good. Take a sip of water with intent. That means be deliberate and be purposeful. We're going to move on to Speak Out exercise number 2, the ahs. Deliberately open your mouth wide and project the ah forward this way over my head. Ready? Ah. Make sure the sound is ah. If your mouth is not open wide enough, we won't hear the sound ah. We want ah. Ready? Ah. Good. Let's do it again. Let's do a shorter one. One more. Good. We're done with the ahs. Take a sip of water with intent. Next Wednesday, not tomorrow, next Wednesday, we will be having a concert. Our intentional singers will be performing at our clinic. If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, call our clinic for a reservation. Julie will post the phone number in the chat. Sandy's on vacation this week. So besides making cakes, Julie is monitoring the chat today. Let's move on to speak out exercise number 3, the glides. It's important that you project out a steady ah first. So we're taking control and then we start gliding. Here we go. Ah, ah. Good. The sound is ah. Ready? Ah. Ah. Good. Notice how I'm not going up into falsetto and I'm not going down really low. The range does not need to be that wide, but we do need to change our pitch. Let's try it again. Ah, ah. Good. Even though you're going up and down in pitch, you are speaking out. Over my head. Ready? Ah, ah. Good. Take a sip of water if you need it. We're going to move on to the counting. The counting exercise re-coordinates the breathing pattern. So now we're going to add words to what we're doing, not just ah. All right, stop with intent at the end of each row. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Speak out. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, the other day somebody asked about a tremor. They have a tremor and then when they're speaking out, the tremor is worse. That is normal at the beginning as you are learning how to speak out. The more you become comfortable with it, the more you recognize the amount of effort you need to put forth to be heard and understood, then that tremor should subside. Let's do another counting starting at 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over my head. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. We're not letting it trail off and we're not yelling. We are projecting our voices forward. Let's do it one more time. Start with number 16. We'll count backward. 16, 15, 14, 13. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. working with intent. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much effort are you using when you're doing these exercises? Go ahead and take a sip of water. I'm going to share a story with you. So my daughter danced ballet for 14 years, and she had rehearsal practically every day. It was a very busy time, but I wanted her to be in Girl Scouts. I believe in the scouting program. I needed her to be in Girl Scouts. So I found a troop that was close to where she took ballet. If you live in the Dallas area, the troop was in Highland Park. So we go to our first meeting. It just happens to be cookie season. So I'm thinking, okay, we can sell some cookies, no problem. Well, we get into the meeting and the mother in charge says, now, every girl will sell 400 boxes of cookies. I was like, oh my God, 400 boxes of cookies? How are we going to go, house by house selling Girl Scout cookies? I had visions of, cookie booths at Home Depot and everything else. Just terrible. I have a big family, but I don't think I could sell 400 cookies among all of them. So, being the fundraising, using my fundraising skills that I've learned at Parkinson Voice Project, we made up a form. We found out that, did you know that you can buy boxes of cookies and have them sent to the troops overseas? And so that's what we did. We created a form, and instead of saying, how many boxes of cookies would you like to buy? Our form said, how many cases of Girl Scout cookies would you like to send overseas to the troops? The beauty of that, I never saw one box of Girl Scout cookies. Friends and family were sending in checks for $300, $100, 1 case, 2 case, 5 cases of cookies. We sold even more than 400 boxes of cookies. So that's my suggestion for any Girl Scout trying to sell cookies. It worked beautifully. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up our reading material for today. The topic is Girl Scouts. Let's read these sentences with intent. Exaggerate the highlighted words. Here we go. Girl Scouts are part of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. Now, emphasizing the highlighted words is so important because it forces you to use intent. The highlighted words need to sound different from the rest. Let's read the sentence again with more intent. Girl Scouts are part of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. Next, it is a global organization that operates in many countries. Again, it is a global organization that operates in many countries. Notice that the highlighted words are not necessarily louder. So I don't want you to yell when you get to the highlighted words. Just say them with more intent. Let's read this sentence. Girl Scouts USA was founded in 1912. Again, Girl Scouts USA was founded in 1912. Very good. Ready? The Girl Scouts raise money by selling cookies. Again, with more intent. The Girl Scouts raise money by selling cookies. Take a sip of water with intent. The next part of the Speak Out Therapy program is learning to speak out in regular conversation. Describing pictures, photographs, those are great ways to practice speaking with intent. Up on the screen, you have some cookies. I want you to name the cookies. Do you know their names? Say them with intent. I did not know all of these. I had to look them up. On the top left, that one is called Adventure Fools. Say that with me. Adventure Fools. The next one, top middle, are the tag-alongs. Now, when you say tag-alongs, support your breath, support the words all the way to the end. Say it together. Tag-alongs. Don't let it trail off again. Tag-alongs. The next one to the far right, up at the top, Samoas. Say it with me. Samoas. Don't let it trail off again. Samoas. Next, bottom left, my favorite, Thin Mints. Again, Thin Mints. Great in the freezer. Next one, bottom middle, called Do-si-do. Say it with intent. Do-si-do. And the one bottom right, what is it called? Say it with intent. Trefoils. Again, support your voice all the way to the end. Trefoils. Reach for the end. Ready? Trefoils. Again, trefoils. Now I have a question. Do you know how much a box of Girl Scout cookies cost in 1917? Take your best guess. $25 to 35 cents per dozen. Now, how much do a box of Girl Scout cookies cost now? They cost $6 to $7 a box now, although it depends on location. Lisa, who lives in San Antonio, Texas, only paid about $5 a box. Okay, take a sip of water if you need it. We're going to move on to Dr. Boone's words. We'll say each nonsense word twice. We're exaggerating the G's, the K's, and the NG's. Here we go. Gula gang ga ga. Again. Gula gang ga ga. The next one. Ku ka mangu ka. Exaggerate. Ku ka mangu ka. Ready? Gangla. Again. Gangla. And the last one. Kukla. Kukla. All right. If you need a sip of water, go ahead. We're going to end with the bonus reading. Here's a great picture of Juliet Gordon Lowe. She is on the far right. Look at those uniforms. Let's read with intent. Here we go. Juliet Gordon was born into a prominent Georgia family. Her interest in the Scout movement stemmed from her friendship with Robert and Agnes Baden Powell, who had organized the Boy Scouts and the Girl Guides in England. Lowe returned to the United States and organized the nation's first troop of Girl Guides in Savannah in March 1912. If you really want to get your speech better in conversation, you need to do more reading. You need to have full control of your speech, be able to read a passage like we just did, speaking out the whole time, being highly aware of how you're talking. So download the reading material. Take what you learned in this session and practice and practice some more. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great week.